Hey, top of the morning to you. Michael here. Flap on there in just a second. Flap on your screen. I am I'm back in my studio, and what a mess it is. There's a part of it, though, that I love. Hope you're well. Let me say hello. Thanks for being here. Hey, I'm Michael. Grandkids call me Roo. Thanks for being a part of Roodoodles Live. And I try so hard each Saturday morning to come on promptly at 8:57, spend about an hour with you, sometimes a little lot less, sometimes a lot more if I'm in the middle of something. It's Saturday morning. It's a tea morning. I try to set it aside, but I set aside time every morning to do a couple things. One, I read something spiritually. I have that time to just sit a little bit, not putting any guilt or pressure on anybody. It's just how I start best in these days of confused situations. And this life of a restless remorse, when the heart and the soul of a nation lay wounded and cold as a corpse. From a song, Be Ye Glad. I don't miss my days of being on stage singing, as I used to travel and do, but I do miss songs sometimes, so I'll listen to a very interesting style of music as I drive. So I'll put on, I won't put on music in the morning, no, I just need it quiet. I don't let that need to interfere in my brain. And then I'll paint for at least 857, add it up, you get 20. So in less than 20 minutes today, I'm going to show you how I do, not show you how, not teach you how, but do a little bit of a workshop with simple tools and 4 or 5 colors on just how I do. It's that time again, it's April, and usually by the middle of April, about my birthday time, I make sure the hummingbird feeders are ready to go because they'll start returning back to North Carolina. And so I want to have those things out here. I just love them. They're just like little bullies, you know. They're just little, they're tiny roosters. They're just like, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. And so I'm here, but let me say hello to some of you. I'm still sorting through some things from the beach. And I've got something to give away today from the beach. And a little bit later, after we paint a hummingbird or two, I'm going to show you a little video that I shot at the beach. And I found something there. I found something that ready for this? I found something that I had never seen before, ever. That's 3 evers. Sounds like Winston Churchill, right? Never give up. That's the way I feel about my art. I think like an artist. So there's some books laid on the table this morning. Let me say hello to some of you, and then we'll jump into this. I'm going to give away something. I'm going to paint some. If you want to grab some simple tools, let me tell you what they are. Let me just go to my desk here. Let's just go to a little picture-in-picture. That'll work. I took some books with me to the beach. And if Pat's on the show, we'll talk about noodle, doodle, fiddle, piddle. If I had rules, this would be some of my rules. This is my creative book for my color book, coloring book that's called Robots or Roobots. And then there's Hey Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow, which is written and illustrated by yours truly. There it is right there. Rhyming, and I took my poem book that I'm working on. So rhymes from the rivers. It's called Odes from the Oceans, Rhymes from the Rivers, and Poems from the Ponds. And I kind of came back that way instead of going up the other way. I want to start at the ocean and work down. And maybe, I don't know, I'm leaving it that way. But I did some painting on that. So what I'm searching for is top of the morning to you. And I'm searching for I'll get to it. Let me say hello. Oh, there they are. And then there's some hummingbirds down here that I want to show you. Karen Bender, thanks for being on the show. Miss Carla Hardwick, I'm glad you're on the show. Denise Albright, always good to see you from Exeter, California. Alice Durham, good morning. There's Leanne Lobato. Thank you for being on the show. And I'm back in my studio. I appreciate, and I just got a package from you. I opened it yesterday maybe or so, and it's books. Thank you. Donna Buckley. There she is, folks, the Paynes Gray lady. And I say that it's Paynes, P-A-Y-N-E-S, not P-A-I-N-S. Jean Anthalzer, Donna Buckley, good morning to you. Jean Anthalzer, Becky Bailey, way up there in Maple Syrup country. Maple Serple, I think they call it, Maple Serple. Renee Keys, thanks for being on the show. Renee's a good artist. Marie Pikert, thank you for being on the show. June Jones, pray you're well and your husband. Jennifer Hitz, Laura Abbott, thank you for being on the show. Crew from a sunny but cold start. Yeah, it's been cold here yesterday. And it was cold at the beach. Don't let anybody kid you. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Carol found a few shark's teeth. She didn't find what she wanted. She wanted to come home with 100. She came home with just a little over half of that. 50 something. Maggie Carnahan, thanks for being here, but it was tough. But I'm going to tell you about something that I found, right? Never, ever, ever had seen it before. Lori Stanley, Handelmeyer Henderson, Jethro Bodine, glad you're back in Florida, buddy. Hey, Bob, how's it in Minnesota? Bob, still painting fishing apparatus. Went from golf apparatus to fishing apparatus. Michelle Stafford, thanks for being on the show. Okay, Donacelle Barton. I call her the Rube Goldberg of the Ruse crew right there. All right, Doris Boland, thanks for being on. Linda Schleitning, Linda Linhart. There's a lot of Linder Bender Cinders. Mickey Hupp, thanks for being on the show. Andy McBean, thank you. Terry Tardy. Terry, I will introduce a little turquoise into the first Hummer this morning in honor of you. I hope your potting shop is going up and running and you're making pots and throwing pots, not throwing them at, you don't want to throw them at people. Okay, Laura Logan, thanks for being on the show. Kim Lawson, wow, what a big show today. Trish Brown, love it. Thanks for being on here. Dolores Boland. Kimberly Fox Salowich. Hey, it's my job to mess up names. I grew up in East Tennessee. Donna Beasley Scarlatti from Alabama. I don't know why I can remember that so well. Valerie Prazy. All right, here we go. So top of the morning to you. There it is. What is it? It's time to think like an artist. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to remove this piece of paper on my desk, and I'm going to show you two little hummingbirds that I painted this morning, and I'm going to show you how I paint those things very rapidly. Just a little, let's not call it a tutorial because I never studied art. I don't know if it would have helped me, probably, in perspective and lots of other things. But I want to show you what's happening right here. So here it is right here. If you want to grab a tool or two, here's what I'm going to use. I'm going to lay them out right here. I'm going to use a number 4. There's a newer version. Here's my old version from Cheap Joe's. You probably can't see these in the light very well. One is a beautiful green. The other one is just almost a piece of wood. It looks like a worn boat side or a boat step. It's just the friction and pieces of paint have fallen off, and I don't want to throw it away, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. Well, I'll show you right now, because sometimes I'll take the end of these brushes and I'll sharpen them with a pencil sharpener, and that becomes another little stick brush for me. And so, of course, he also told me, just sent me some new stick brushes, and I'll pull one of those out this morning. Just a simple stick. There it is right there. All right, so I got this brush, and I have this bamboo brush. And then I show you a brush that, see, there's the one that I sharpened the back on like a pencil. This is not a pencil. This was one of Carol's oil brushes, and it had passed its prime of being able to be used, I think because she didn't clean it out for about 5 years. Anyway, I took the scissors, and I took my shop scissors. Where are they? My little ugly. I usually just find them the hard way. They stick in my hand while I'm up here. Why are they not in my... That's weird. Anyway, okay, I had some little scissors here, but I trimmed this. I trimmed the hair on this so that it's really erratic. Can you see that laying down there? You see it's just jumpy and cut out. You see what I'm talking about when I say erratic? I'm going to pull in on this just a little closer so you can see it. Let's see if I can go in and get a focal shot of this brush. Right there, maybe. No, that's not good. Sorry, my lens is so hard to focus. Here it is. Look, you see how that brush is just sort of chewed up? It just looks like you left it out and your dog ate it a little bit. See that right there? I'm turning it right here. See the ends of this? Okay, I trimmed it that way. It's like a 5-year-old would do their bangs. Cheep, 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 cheep. And you go like, what happened to your hair? Well, I cut it. So this is a brush that I just had this crazy idea. I wanted to make it like a little pungy stencil brush, so I could go down with it like that, and it would be just really irregular. See it? Okay, so that's what I got. So I got this irregular brush. I'm going to center this right here and come back on this lens just a little bit right there. Let's see if we can get a good focus. That's probably pretty sharp right there. Okay. All right, shut that camera shaking, and then it's showtime. Let's do this. All right, so here's what I'm going to help you paint. So I'm using these 3 brushes right here. I'm also going to use a drinking straw. So I keep a drinking straw up here. This one's a little big. You could use a smaller one, but I'm going to use this one. Probably Chick-fil-A. I don't know what it is. It's not McDonald's. Their last drinking straw is like a sewer pipe. It bothers me. The thing is like gigantic. Okay, I need more drink. All right, so I'm going to move this. Oh, there's 2 pieces of Kilimanjaro up here. I'm going to paint on Kilimanjaro. I'm going to paint on 140 pound. I'm going to paint on some natural white Kilimanjaro, and I'm going to paint on a piece of 300 pound natural white Kilimanjaro. Okay, so that's what I'm going to paint these Hummers on. Here they are. Let me show you what they look like. I sat down this morning about 35, 40 minutes ago, and I painted these 2 little Hummers. One of them I just painted on a little drawing pad notebook. There it is right there. One of these. Okay. It says son of a Hummer. I did it. Okay. And here's the other one on a little, it's just mixed media paper. So we'll do this one first, and then I'll get to some of the other paper. So there's the mixed media paper. Let's just pull a piece of that. I doodle on this paper sometimes when I'm traveling. I'll throw this in my bag. And if I'm just sitting, like let's say that we go somewhere and Carol wants to walk into a shop that I don't want to walk into, I'll say, enjoy yourself. And I'll sit down and I'll do, this is my little main island that I paint from time to time. My daughter painted this unbelievable, breathtaking little scene of the Portland headlight. All right, so here's my piece of paper. I'm just going to go ahead and rip it out now. All right, this is mixed media. 138 pound. You can get this at any big box store or even an art store. Cheap Joe's carries it. Easy to find there on their back table if you're in Charlotte. Front table if you're in Asheville. If you're in Boone, it's 3rd row back on the corner. That's scary, isn't it? All right, so here's a little hummingbird. First of all, you got to like it. If you don't like it, then maybe it's time for you to just do your own piece of art today. But I'm going to show you how I did this in about 4.5 minutes. I'm going to put a piece of music on, and then I'm just going to paint this little hummer. And notice there's almost no sketch except when I get to his head. None of this has been sketched at all. The advantage of painting things over and over and over is this. You build a muscle memory that you know what you're looking for. Now, this I may paint the next 3, and I'm going to paint them live in front of you, and they may turn out terrible. So, but I always start painting some. Here's the little one on this paper, and you can see how this paper, it doesn't go through, but this is about all this paper can support as far as color popping back out at you, because it's just drawing paper and it's only 80 pounds. This is 138, and it's natural white. It's got a little better roll to it. It has a little more life and reflective quality. The white shines through a little more, which lets the light hit and bounce back, and that's how you get that painting. So here we go. Let's see. I think a better place to be. My works at work this morning just snuck in to say good morning, Mike Paramore. Man, Mike, I want you to know I don't ever forget you, buddy. Take a look as I sit and paint, not for that lobster. God save the peoples. There's 1461. There's be impressive. There's B. There's a B. There's a B. Wow, what kind of flower is that? Hey, I'm a bumblebee, not a botanist. Okay, that's on 300-pound paper. Just giving it a shot. C, B something. Look at that little black and white bee. Dive. B line home. There's I'll be back. And there's one. It's 1470, and there's 1471 right there. Very light little rough sketch bee with only a pen. And this is pen ink. This is my little flower pen ink. It's not even watercolor. This is watercolor, the yellow. So, Mike, I keep painting those honeybees, man. And I've gotten to where now I don't even need to look at a bee or see a bee outside or even be. I just sit down and I'll paint bees. It's kind of like I am with roosters. All right, here we go. Let's. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna throw that over there and not worry about it. And just paint one right here. I'm going to move stuff back. I'm going to grab my brush. Let's find a piece of bee painting music here. How about something that's kind of really different? What do we got here? Nothing. Oh, that's a nice piece of music. Oh, there it comes. All right. So I'm going to use this brush. Watch this. I'm going to use this brush that's almost like a... Good morning from Idaho. Hello, Michelle Hamilton. Beautiful. Let's see. There's a lot of 80-pound paper. There's a lot of 80-pound drawing. It's always going to be dependent on how the paper is processed. Oh, well, yep. Laura's always got us a fact, but to me, it's kind of whatever I have in my hand at the time and what I am doing. But I'm a paper snob, so believe it or not, I don't throw these out there because I don't like them. I throw them out there because I do like them, and so. Yeah, 120 cardstock versus 300-pound paper. It's a strange world. It also matters how much sizing and starch is in the paper, whether it's cotton or not. So there's a ton of things. You are going to have to just keep trying some paper until you find what you love. And then I would say stay with it. Everybody knows that I have my paper that I love, and that's Kilimanjaro 140-pound 100% cotton. I like it better than Fabriano. I like it better than Arches. I like it. I just love it. I love it because of what I paint and my style. So there'll always be that thing to deal with. Here we go. Take a look right here. I'm just going to I'm going to make colors in a little bit of a shape of a V. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to set this pen right. Oh yeah. I'm just going to drop some water on the paper, sort of like this. Did I say V? I meant Y. I'm just going to drop some water on the paper like that. See that right there? That's like off the coast of Africa. All right, so here we go. So, and about probably that big. I think I'll do it this way. No, I'm going to do it this way. No, I'm going to do it this way. Okay, here we go. And I'm just dropping some water there, like this. Can't see what I'm doing. But trust me, I'm looking at my little water mold there, and I'm just dropping it in, sort of like that. You'll see it when I add some color, and I've got just some water right there. That's it. Okay, I'm going to take my paints, and I'm not even going to spray any water on them this morning. I'm just going to use my palette like this right here, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to get some ultramarine blue right here, and I'm just punching this little brush down into the ultramarine blue. You see that right there? And then I'm going to just put that right here like this and just let it spread out a little bit. Look at that. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm going to grab a little bit of gamboge, and I'm going to put that gamboge right in here and right there, a little bit right there and there, just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to put a little bit of red just right there, and maybe a piece of it right there. And now clean my brush out again. So I'm using this big old ugly thing that I just made from my wife's broken oil painting brush. And I got some red way down in there, so I'm cleaning all that out. You see how much paint was in there by just punching it into the red. All right, and I'm gonna go a little more water right here and there. And now I'm gonna just turn this, and then I'm gonna put my straw in line with it. See this right here? Okay. All right, now I'm gonna drop out of sight, hopefully. Or you'll see the top of my bald head. Here we go. Look at this. I'm gonna go and just blow on it. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to come in with the number 4 brush, and I'm just going to come in here and paint the rest of the wings out like this. I'm just going to connect some of that. Then I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to come around, curve his body, and then I'm going to bring the head of the Hummer in just like this. You see that? He's coming together already. Look. Now I need a little more blue right here, just in the wings. So I'm just following those blow lines and let them go out there like that, okay? So a little more green here. We're going to pull some of this green up here. And now I'm going to go get my pen, and I'm going to introduce a little bit of a pen here, just like this. This head's going to come up just a little more, I think, just like that. Out. And then I'm going to get a pen. I'm going to do an 05 Pentel Intergel, if I had one on the desk. Wouldn't that be something? Ratatouille. Where is that thing? Here it is right here. Okay, here we go. Move that over. And then I'm just going to do the little head. I'm going to come out like this. And then up like this. And then I'm going to draw his long beak that he goes in and drinks out of flowers with. And then I'm going to put his eye right here. The feet up here and the rest of this. I'll do it, double up his eye, goes in a little bit. Then I'm going to grab a little bit of, where's my old brush again? Where's my little Cheap Joe's? And then I'm going to grab a little bit of just purple and bring it right in there like that, and a little more green underneath his body right here. See, I'm just building him up now where I didn't blow paint, and a touch of that red-throated. He could be a ruby-throated Hummer. And look, I suddenly have this hummingbird. And I'm just going to let him alone for a second because I'm going to do another one. But first, I'm going to also go in here and probably just take a little bit of Payne's Gray, Donna, and I'm going to just roll it right in the middle of this right here. Just let it wipe down, and it'll have a little bit right there, like so. Maybe a little more blue up on that head from here. Too much. Then I add some green to that, just like so, and that'll make it just perfect. And then catch this down a little bit like this. All right, so there you go. So that gives you a little idea of how quick you can just put a hummingbird. Let's do another one. And I have not tried one of these on the 300 pound. So if I wanted that breast here to pop out just a little fuller, I could bring it out like this. That's going to give it a little more life. All this stuff I can tune up later. And I'll come back, and when this is dry a little more, I'll tune up that eye. And I'll put some loose feathers right up here on top like so. And I'll bring this down, and I suddenly have the makings of a pretty cool bird. I'm going to come back and show you how I would splatter that in just a little bit. So I'm going to park him over here to the side and do one more. All right. So what's so tough about that? Could you do it if you didn't have one of these special brushes that I just made? You can do it with anything. Could you do it with a bamboo brush or maybe a number 8? I'd probably do it with a 12, but let's see what size is this. This is a number 10 maybe? Yep, here's a number 10. This is a number 10 a pseudo sable. Still has the price tag on it, looks like. That's not the price tag, it's their code. All right, I'll take that off. All right, let's take this brush and do one with this. And I'm going to do this one on the 300 pound. No, I'm not going to change brushes yet. I'm going to stay with this brush on the 300 pound. Then I'll go back to do the 10. Okay, so this is 300 pound Kilimanjaro. Some rough looking paper, like painting on cardstock. Okay, so let's do the same little drill here. I'm going to do this my little Y here, just actually, and it doesn't have to come down too far. So I'm just letting it go back a little bit, and this is a smaller one. So watch what happens. I'm going to grab the blue. This is ultramarine, And I'll put some there like that. Okay, that's probably plenty for this one. I'm going to grab a little bit of a clean brush, go back in with just a touch of water on this brush, and I'm just punching it down in my yellow-green a little bit right there. Okay, boom. I'm going to grab a little red. I'm thinking like a hummingbird, right? Well, my throat just got a little touch of red in it, so I'm going to put that right there on his breast. And then I'll put a touch right in there. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water, just some clean water if I can get it out of there, just right there like that. And then I'm going to grab my straw. Here's where I need a thinner straw, but I don't have one. So I'm going to go in like this. The wings are going to go in the direction of my straw. So watch this. I'm going to pinch the straw. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Now watch this. I'm going to take my little sharpened pencil here. No, I'm not. I'm going to take my bamboo stick from Yasutoma, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to make the wings with this little bamboo stick like this. Oh, man. I'm going to make his body a little bigger because he's gotten to be a larger bird than I'd planned on. And then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to roll his head in a little bigger like this. I think sometimes when you're out and you're backpacking and you got your colors with you and you just whittle a little stick and you create something, I don't know, call me a kid, but, well, I mean, of course you can call me a kid, okay? But you see what I do? I just think that is the time when you shine as an artist, when you're not worrying about it, working on it too hard. You're just going like, let's make this happen here. Let's build this thing up so it is so fun. I'm going to come in, I maybe will build his head up just a little bit more. I'm going to come in just a little bit like that, come in like that. And I'm going to put his long beak right out there. Man, it's a long one right there. This is serious. And his little feet right here. Come back in. And his little eye right there. And he's going to need a little more of this red coming out in the throat area right here. Just coming down on his breast. Okay. And why? I don't know. Just because it looked like it needed it. A little fatter. He needed to be a little fatter. A little green here. Could touch this. Just take out some of the color. That's kind of nice. That brightened him up quite a bit. And then just a damp brush here, and I'm just going to fill in my pen work. Didn't try to use paint there. I could have done that with my little stick here too. If I wanted to wet that and put a little Payne's gray on the tip of it, I could have pulled that in with gray. Look at that. It just looks like I'm using a pencil, but I'm actually watercoloring. I kind of like it when that happens. All right, so we're going to just make some little spots up here. Cover that little eye in, a little dark under here. Feet hanging off here. His feet are way up in his middle. All this is just feathers. This dude is just... he's just a feather mess is all he is. Okay, so there you go. So there's your two little hummingbirds that take minutes to do each just by blowing a blob and going with it. So some of you will not like this because you want to do more detail, fine art looking work. I get it. I love doing this because it's as loose as you could possibly get with watercolors, and it just lets the watercolor be what it is. Just like, let me just go out there and just run wherever I want to rampantly, and it's kind of fun. I'm controlling it very little. So let's go back now and leave this to dry. This is 300-pound paper. I'm going to do one of these. I still got a little time. I'm going to do one of these now on 140 paper. That's 300 pound. Here's a little 140 paper. Okay, this is Kilimanjaro. It's marked right there. It has a watermark in it. And this is even going to be a smaller one. So let's go this time with, here, just to show you don't have to have a special brush. Let's do it this way. Let's put a spot of water there. A little bit of water here. A little bit there. And then all that water does is it keeps this paint suspended for a second until I can get to where I need to get. And by the way, this bamboo brush works superior probably to my brush, but there's something fun about making your own daggum brush. There's a part of me that just loves that so much. Okay, you see that one already coming together. Let's put that little bit of red right in here to his chest, right in there. And then this time, just come in with a little, I'm just going to blow this one like this. I'm going to pick it up in front of my mouth right here and just give it a little blow like that. Boom, done. Okay. So you didn't have to get up and go to the kitchen and get your straw. Okay, so now I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to run these wings up this way too. And I'm just letting this explode here. And you're going like, how's he going to get out of this one? Well, we're just going to make his body a little bigger. That's how he's going to get out of this one. That's why if you start small, you can always come in with a little bigger body. Look at that. This is going to happen, and you saw it right in front of you. See? So this is what I really love about just making this turn out slow and easy and sort of building them up as you go. Take a look. Oh, could it be the best one yet? Maybe not, but I like it. All right, so I've got my sharpened pencil here, and I'm just going to take that green, and I'm going to build up his head right here. Then I'm going to come in underneath, and I'm going to build it up like that. And then why don't I get a little bit of Payne's Gray or maybe Payne's Gray on my little stick pencil here and just do his beak out of this. And there's why I don't, because it's too thick. So all of that, then I messed it up. I can turn it into something. Let's see if we can sharpen this a little bit with a pencil or a pen. Yeah, I think we did it. We, he says. I don't know why artists do that. So I'm not an artist. I think like one though. Okay, so there's his little feet. And that gives you an idea. How about that, huh? Too cool. All right, don't forget, I'm going to give away something here in a little bit. I got a video to run in a second, but I want you to see some of these. I think this one is, I don't know, I kind of like the way his almost filled in a little piece right here. Almost. Is he going to do it? Yeah, I think I'm going to fill in just a touch of that right there, the backbone. A little bit, bring it in with maybe a little bit of Terry Tardy turquoise right in there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There it is. We wondered where it was going to come in, and I found the spot for it. Okay. Wow. Knocked me over with a hummingbird. I like him. All right, I'll tell you what's missing in this bird is a little yellow, and the same with this one. So I'm going to put this bird up here, and I'm going to go back to the first one now. I'm just going to have a little fun. So let's go get maybe a number something. What are we going to get? A number something. Number 4 is okay. Just this old 4 here. I'm going to go and get it, and I'm going to grab a little of the gamboge. And I'm just going to, where's my stick brush? I'm just going to, and you wonder why my brush doesn't have any paint on them. Here's why, from the splatter. Okay, so let's go in and get a little more, and let's splatter it in like this. And a little bit of blue here, just some sky blue scattered out too, like that on the back side of this. And then I'm just going to grab my straw, and I'm going to hold this up, and I'm going to blow those in the directions that I think the wind would be going. Pow, pow, pow. There we go. Take a look at that, huh? So that's one way to do it. Okay, here's another way. Just very simple and plain, and don't get carried away. Grab a little bit of yellow right here, come in with the other brush and just do some yellow, he says, while his brush is down in the green. There it is right there, just a little bit of these. Don't make them all look like they're going the same direction, because that way it looks like you just bought this at a print shop and they couldn't change their printing direction. This is why I like to just spin my art around. There's one going that way. This one right here needs a little orange in it. I'm just telling you, I can see it. And there's my orange, and also it needs a little Terry Tardy turquoise, just with a lot of water in it right here. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm also going to pull a little turquoise in the head of this bird right here. Who's to say we can't find one out there that's got a lot of turquoise in it, and a little more of this royal amethyst purple. Whoa, I like that. Now see, that little red spot's going to make it go. What if I just grab a little bit of blue and come on here, just like this? Okay, so there's 3 little hummingbirds that just happen in front of you. Now, if I come back, as this starts to dry, and I were to take a little bit of red right here and just put it in, watch what's going to happen in just a second. and just add a drop of water on that. So here's where you come back to your dry painting and then add a little brightness and texture. Look at that, okay? And a little more of that spring green right up here in his head would be a cool color to that. Same here. Let's do some of these little feet right here where they've turned in, just there, perfect. And I'm using my pen to just scratch into this ink and create some membranes within the wing itself. Dang, that's a good hummingbird, even if I did paint it in my style. Let me be perfectly clear, okay? Let me be perfectly clear. All right. All right. Same with this bird. I'm going to add a little bit more of that richness right to his chest right here. And just let it run while the water is still soaking. This one, especially on the 300 pound, I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab a little bit of more green right up on top of his head. Just a touch right there. And I'm going to let it run down. See it just take off. And now you got to remember, on 300 pound paper, that water will set in those divots for a long time. These are like potholes on a highway. Okay, 300 pound is a different bird to paint with. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. That was a bad pun, wasn't it? A different bird. Okay, there we go. All right, there's 3 little hummers. Man, they're ready for the road. Hey, let me show you where I was, and then I'll give away something on the show this morning. We'll paint a rooster, and I'll be out of here today. But let's see. Any questions? There's 800 pound drawing paper. Laura says, Sue, Grandfather Mountain outside the restaurant. I love Grandfather Mountain. Been there. Actually worked on some commercials up there years ago. What brush are you using? I was using a number 4. I was for most of the birds, I was using a number 4 Cheap Joe's American Journey brush. This is just a nylon brush, but I've had it for years. It's a nylon interlocked number 4. I was using a brush that I made from my wife's painting, oil painting brush. I just trimmed it short, and then I just took my scissors and chopped up into it like this and made it real erratic. So, and I'll show you this brush one more time on a little demonstration, okay? I'll show you that in just a second. So let me make myself a note. Brush. Okay. All right. Water looks like a sock. Okay, Dolores, I think that's a great way to call it. Just paint a sock. Oil brush all trimmed down. You knew to start in Africa. You knew you had to start with Africa to paint a hummingbird. Magic. It's terrific. So I'm glad you guys are getting the way that I just painted that. Don't let them, people spend all day sketching one. And my point is, you want this art to just go, whoa, it looked like it just buzzed by. You never see a hummingbird in detail unless, you're just standing there with your binoculars. And then you got to see him for a second because another one will fly in and he'll spear him. I think if we could understand what they were saying, we wouldn't be that impressed with them, is what I think. All right, Teresa Miller, hello. Glad you're on the show. Cheryl Johnson. Elaine Barnett, she says, not me. I like less details. Me too. They look great. Need some flowers. Okay, we'll do a flower on one of these. I better write that down too. So this is how I finish my... I've been on the road, so I haven't done any planning on the show today. So we'll do some flowers. Dolores says, well, I like watching you. Almost trying something new. You bet. Okay, Payne's Gray. No, one was just an oil brush that I just trimmed up. Yeah, I'll show you that one more time, and I'll describe it. Hopefully I'll see this hummingbird just like yours as a feeder. Okay, here we go. I want to show you, we took a little trip with my daughter and husband and their 4 children, 4 of our grands. And we went to a beach we'd never been to before, 3 hours from here, right at 3 hours and 5 minutes, is a little beach called Holden Beach. Some of you may know it. It's off the North Carolina coast. And something happened there in 2023, August 3rd. Nothing tragic. It was just, it was the time that they set up a big dredging machine offshore. And so when they set this dredging machine up, what happened was they there was a huge storm before that. It took it just the pier is in shambles, and you'll see a picture of that in the video here in just a second. It sort of is getting ready to come down, and they're refurbishing the area, and so they had to replenish the beach, and so they go out a mile and a half, and they put down a dredger which sucks up sand and stone and from the bottom, and it's put on a barge, and then that is brought to shore, and they use bulldozers, and they rebuild the shore. They've planted thousands and thousands of sea oats and signs to stay off the dunes. So they're rebuilding the beach, which is, protect the people, but but what it's done is that it created a flock of tourists to Holden Beach. And the reason is because when they were digging, or when they were dredging up on the bottom of the ocean, they broke into a fossilized bed of shells. And some say anywhere from 50 to 130 million years old. Okay, how old is the Earth? If you're a creationist, you're going to struggle with that. But my point is, we don't know about God's time and creation. But what I do know is that there are things that I've never seen before. So we wanted to go down at low tide. We missed that. It was stormy one day and rained, and it was in the 50s all day, so it was just like freezing your ears off to be there. Carol found 2 teeth one time on an hour walk and came in just drenched. We met her at the door. I went to take her a cup of coffee, and I got about 100 yards, and my coffee was cold. I had it covered up. And anyway, so the whole story is just, she is a diehard Scottish tenacity. And so I ran for the house. But the point is, I found something. I want to show you this video, and then I'll show you what I found. You'll see it in the video. And then that's going to be my gift to somebody this morning who likes shells or interesting things. JC Needles, thanks for being on the show. Didn't see your name earlier. What is the bamboo stick you use, Valerie? I'll answer that. I'll go to all the QQQs, bamboo, brush, and also bee, and and flour. Those are things I'll finish the show with here in just a moment. I want to watch this video. Just take a second. Well, no, it'll take about 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Here it is. This is Holden Beach, North Carolina. And I won't narrate it, but you're going to see some rough shells in a rough seabed. It looks like a gravel parking lot at first. And notice on Holden Beach, if you're looking straight south when you stand on the beach looking out at the Atlantic, and on your left, which is east, you can see the sun come up the way this point comes out. And then in the evening, you can see the sun go down on the west. So you get a sunrise and sunset on the same beach, which is kind of cool. All right, here we go. This is it. Boom. And boom. Just went out and shot a little time lapse here, just a little bit to see it coming up. So this is due east right there. See how rough that sand is, right? And you see the shelf here. That's Carol walking right there. And here's where I bought 3 pounds of shrimp for dinner that night. See how rough the sea is with big chunks of broken shell that came from all of that restoration work. Look at the size of this oyster shell. Look how thick. It's almost 3/4 of an inch thick, 5/8 for sure. And this is due west, so I've done a 180-degree turn here at the end of the day. Okay, here we go. Stopped it for a second. Let me stop this right here for just a second. There. I want you to see that. This is a sea biscuit. Some of you may have heard of them. Some of you may have found them before. I'd never seen one. The scientists in North Carolina say that they had never seen them on the North Carolina beaches before. And what happened was when I'll finish this, but just that's a sea biscuit. Here we go. Cool beans, huh? Isn't that cool? All right, thanks for sitting through that. I don't want to bore you with home movies, but I shoot just little clips so I will remember where I was and what I was doing. And then last night I sat and I put a little piece together from my phone so you could see it. All right, so the sea biscuit is supposedly one of these fossils. They are in this sand dollar family, but they're not sand dollars. They're from the um, Epstein epic, which is 30 to 100 million years ago. They're fossilized. These are fossils, and they broke into the bed. And suddenly, when they brought the sand to shore and they started spreading it in August of 2023, people started realizing there was something showing up on the shore they had never seen either. And beachcombers and shell hunters from all over the country started coming to Holden Beach, and the place went, "What is this?" And now the restaurants have them on shelves, and people are selling them on eBay, and they're crazy. And here is, let me move these hummingbirds over. I've got one. I'm going to give away two of them this morning. There's one, and there's one, and there they are right there. You can see. Here's how big they are, and I just dumped sand all over. This is 2 inches in the bottom, and so it's a 2-inch disc. They're all so crazily uniform, all of those. And here is the little mouth of the, like a starfish, or not a starfish. Well, yeah, almost like a mouth of a starfish, but like a sand dollar. And they're gritty, and these are hard as a rock. I mean, they are fossilized. Anyway, there's 3 of them, and this one you can see is the pattern. It has a very similar pattern to the sand dollar, but they're all sand dollars are flat, and their sand dollars are there. They're broken. Everybody picks up sand dollars on the South Carolina shores mostly, but the point is, I think I just threw all my hummingbirds in a pile here, so we'll see if they're okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna give one of those away. Isn't that cool? No, the music being used for that was a piece of production music that I purchased an agreement with a company that allows me to use their music, and I just typed in the search word motion. I pay a yearly fee to produce music for my video company, and it's not a cheap fee, but you know it works out because that way I don't steal anybody's music. And it's sort of a Viking Scottish piece, isn't it? Huh? It's pretty cool. And so I just was looking for something that would boost it up. Never found sea biscuit on Crescent Beach. Never seen them on any beach. If you start reading about it, so just look up the word sea biscuit, not the horse, but this, and you'll start reading about them. You're going to see Holden Beach, Holden Beach, Holden Beach. The only other place that they know of them, and right now they're trying to actually refurbish and regrow these as a real animal, and I don't know how scientists do that, but it sounds like something from Jurassic Park or World. But in the Caribbean beds, they're doing some there. So millions of years ago, this, it's kind of like opening up a tomb. People were picking them up in small little sand buckets full and carrying them off by the gobs. They were like finding golf balls. And that one of those shots on the beach, I picked up probably 50, but they were all broken and mangled and beat, and they had barnacles growing on them. And I've kept some good ones. Carol picked up, I think she brought home 3 or 4, and I brought home one for each boy. My kids just to have one in their rock and shell collections of things that we find, and then a couple that I'll keep as paperweights on my desk. So I'm going to give shoot, I'm going to give all these 3 away. It'll cost me a little bit to mail them, and I'm going to give them away. So I'm going to do that. So I just thought these would be fun for somebody to have who loves sea creatures, who doesn't, who listen. I mean, they're hard as a rock because they're fossilized. Okay, so that's a sea biscuit right there. Isn't that cool? I found some on eBay going for as high as I've seen them as low as $8, and I've seen them as high as $20 each for people who are going like, people sell anything. Hey, I sell you a rock for $20. I mean, I'll sell a hummingbird, but I just think it's creative. But never before has anyone ever held one of these in their hand, and now people are coming. And I asked the guy at the local hardware. He had some he said, "Oh man, those are sea biscuits. Listen, depending on how old you think the Earth is," I said, "I got your point." He said, "Here's what happened." He told me the story, but you can read the story that I just told you. And if you're a scientist, you're going to love all of the scientific timeline they're going to push you through to say this is when this was on the Earth. And this one bed. And what that did too, Carol found 7 or 8 shark's teeth like she's never seen before. And she found 2 extinct sharks. One is called a crow shark, and it's a very different tooth than anything we found in the Atlantic beaches. And she found, like I said, 50, but she has about 12,400, and now she's got 12,450 something. Anyway. But that's how it goes. Okay, so what a fun little thing. I wanted to share that with you this morning. God's creation is amazing. No kidding. The grandkids were on a shark's teeth kick, but each one of them brought a couple home that they really liked. So what you do is you sort of cull some. You'd go, okay, I found this one, and you go, ooh, look at that one. Keeping this one. Ooh, you upgraded as you went. Also, here's the wild thing. Stormy seas, and so when low tide hits and the shell beds start appearing, people race there. I mean, what you saw was almost no people on the beach because it had been stormy that whole day I shot. That whole morning was cold, but there was one time where, as far as you could see, people with buckets, and they had little scoops and scrapes and the strainers, and most of them were hunting shark's teeth. Okay. Are they live or is it a fossil? Terry Tardy, it is definitely a fossil. These are not alive anymore, certainly off the coast of the Atlantic. And so not that any scientist can tell you that these are alive anymore. These are extinct, except for they're trying to keep some alive, or they have some. There's some story about the Caribbean. Of course, there's always a story about the Caribbean. Okay? All right, so if you don't like fossils, I just did a quick search, and there are some on Etsy. There you are. So, of course, I told you there was. So get out there, and if you want to buy one, you can buy one. But I'm just going to give away some right here in a second. And I'm getting up to all the people that are watching and comments, and then we're going to finish the show up. So let me give away. I'm going to give away one this morning, and let's give away this one right here. This is a nice one. In fact, I'll think about that one. That one's kind of an ugly guy, but these two are, look at this one. The bottom on this one is just awesome. All right, so I'll give this one and this one away to somebody right now. So here we go. So I'm just going to scroll my page like I am, and all you have to do is send me an email right here and say, Ernest T found a sea biscuit. Ernest T found the sea biscuit. All right, so here we go. I'm scrolling up and down. I can't see it. I'm going to choose 3 on my screen when they come up, the comments. I'll throw out the top one, bottom one, take the middle one, and here we go. No, just to be fair today, yeah, I'm going to do it that way. And boom, 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 up, down, up, down. I don't know how far it's gone. And boom. So I have Trish, boom. Gene Anthalzer, boom. JC Needles, send me an email at what's on your screen. JC Needles, JC, send me an email and say Ernest T wants. That's Andy Griffith's show was in North Carolina, right? So JC, is it Needles? Needles, okay, and boom. This one has a better picture, but this one is just, I'll give you this one. Okay. All right. So there we go. And we'll draw one more. All right, so I'll put it in. I'll put a little box and pay the postage on it and send it to you. Just thanks for being a part of Roodoodles. Hey, it's something that you can paint as well. So let's just stick a piece of this tape on here and stick that down there, and I'll know that that one goes to JC. And let's do one more. Okay, here we go. And back up and down, up and down. JC, you see that? He sent me an email. Okay, I can't see my screen, and I don't know if it's going up or down, but I assume it's moving. No, I'm off of it. Here it goes. Now it's moving, and scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, down, da, da, da. Okay, so I've got Mickey out, Karen out, Michelle Stafford in. Michelle, you get the other one right here. Here it is right here, Michelle. Michelle Stafford. Voila. Okay, send me an email. Say Ernest T wants a sea biscuit. In fact, I want a biscuit now. I'm hungry. Okay, talking about these petrified sea biscuits. Let me see. Let me grab some questions here. And what is the bamboo stick you use? The bamboo stick I use is a brush that'll go. They call it a pen. It's a bamboo pen. It is from Yasutoma, and they sent me two sizes, and one size is a split brush for painting with ink. You can use it. The other one is literally just whereas what I can use today, I can just use it for painting like this. And so they're grooved out. This one has a split. They're redoing these with a company, and they'll be in touch. She said she'd send me some more. They come in a cool little thing. It says bamboo brush. And you literally just dip it in your black ink, like so, and then you go to town. This one is a huge one, so you're going to get one that's going to have more than that. But that's how you draw with it. Oh, you can't see. I'm so sorry. It's so bad sometimes. Okay, there we go. Let's do that again. So you dip it in. Here's your brush, and you dip it in like this. Okay, so there you go. Wash that out really well and put it back, put the top on my ink. So, hey, look, the Asian calligraphists, before they ever had, they always trying to figure out how to make the best brush. And I'm telling you, man, the Japanese friends that do this with Yasutoma and the families that they have across in Asia who do this, they're remarkable. So this is just a bamboo stick. It's called a bamboo pen. And Yasutoma will start distributing them to their sellers real soon. They shipped me a couple to test just because, well, they know that I just make stuff up as I go. And so I appreciate them very much to do that. I'm sure other companies sell them. I haven't seen them around, but that's how I got it. Okay, camera not on you. Yep. Do shell shops sell them? Valerie, I don't know if shell shops sell them by the seashore, but you can get some sea biscuits on eBay or Etsy. People have gone there, and they'll go there, and they are a fossil. Okay, there's a scientist in North Carolina who's done his homework, and he's been the guy who's studied them mostly. So let me go back to these hummingbirds and finish one more thing. I was going to show you this brush one more time. If you want to I'm going to paint one more thing with it. And here's what I'm going to paint with it right here on this piece of, do I have a piece of 140 up here anywhere? Or anything to paint on? You'd think the man would have some paint, huh? Okay. I don't want to lay my Kilimanjaro down there because it's got wet ink on it. But this is why I designed this brush right here. I designed this brush to just paint a little bumblebee with. And that's why I did it. There was no other reason than this right here. Same brush. Here's the brush. It was an oil brush that I cut the bristles off. Like if it were this, I just chopped it off right here. But it wasn't watercolor. It was oil. I wanted the stiff bristles of an oil brush. And then I took my scissors and I laid them in like this and trimmed it this way. Okay? So trimming it that way, I was able to change the look and the design of how it hits at uneven times. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Take a look at this right here. I just put it in the black ink, but just take a look at what it's doing here, like this. Look. You see how okay, you see how rough that is? Now watch this. If I come in here, and I come here, and then I come here, okay. All right. Now, I just decided to use the other end and sharpen it with a pencil sharpener. And then now I can come in here and I can use this to just draw my bee legs with. There's another one that's coming out of here like this, and down here. And then there's the middle legs that are coming here. And then there's one that's coming out like this. Now I could use the brush that Yasutoma sent me and use this to scrap with, or I could just use my little brush that I did here, which is a broken. Don't throw paintbrushes away. Just sharpen the ends of them and use them as a dipping tool. Because here's why: I can come back in here and I can go to my paint over here, my French gray, and I can come in with this French gray and I can just put a little gray in that wing and also in the tail end of this bee. He's gray. See there? And then watch this. I'm going to come in and I just need a little bit of controlled yellow right here in the back. And I can't use a brush because I'm afraid I'm going to hit that black. And so I'm just going to use this down here like this. And a little under his head right there. And I suddenly have just painted this bumblebee. Now, here's why. Over and over and over. I know what the bee looks like. I've moved all the bees away. I'm not looking at bees. I'm not trying to say, oh, let's make sure this goes in here. I'm just doing it the way that I think the bee looks to my mind. Does that make sense? We worry so too much. Did I get it just right? For heaven's sakes, nobody in nature knows. And who's to say that we all look right? We're all different. Well, I don't think you painted that bee right. Bees don't have that. You go, this one does? He's from East Tennessee. He had a rough life growing up. He had purple martins chase him all the way around to the hive because that's where I grew up. My dad had 140 gourds hanging down that we fed purple martins. A purple martin will eat over 2,000 bugs a day, for heaven's sakes. And so, needs a little orange on there. So I've painted this whole bee without a real, what I'd call a real paintbrush. And there he is right there. I think he needs a little more orange right up here just to add some color and also hump that back up just a little bit. So he's got a little more. Oh, yeah, now he's getting right. Look at that guy, okay? And I'm going to grab this black. Now I'm going to clean off the end of my paintbrush handle here. Go get a little of this black and come in right here now. Let that black come in and run down into that gray. Now here I'm just putting the little pile on the bee, and I'm using the same brush. And I think it needs a little bit of detail in the wing right here, just like that. All right, there you go. Painted with a homemade brush and a sharpened stick. What's it take? Time. All right, there you go. Hey, it's 10:01. I'm out of here like a herd of turtles. It has been a fun morning. Let's see. Oh, that's a great bee. I'm going to sharpen the end of my broken paintbrushes. Now you're rocking and rolling. See, now you're thinking, hey, what do I say? Think like an artist. And now you are. You're beginning to go, wait a minute. I don't need to go pay $14 to $18 to $35 for this brush. I can just sharpen the end of the pencil and do it. And look at that bee. And look at all the holidays that I got in there that made him just loose because I took a broken brush and just did what I did, okay? I love doing that. There's something about it that's just fun. And I stopped when I stopped. I could have probably gone on and messed it up, but I didn't. Okay. All right, I'm out of here. Hey, thanks, and you ladies send me an email address. Say thanks for being a part of my show. I didn't see Pat on the show today, but I want to also say thank you to her. As if you want to find my books, they're at you can find them on my website. You can also find them at Amazon.com. Hey Roo, what's a wheelbarrow? Roobots, the coloring book, and also Noodle Doodle Fiddle Piddle. Before you take the last sip of your tea, if you're still with me this morning, just think of somebody you can send a note to right now and say, hey. I thought of you today. I hope you're being creative, and I hope you're blessed. Got my person. We'll do that right now before you go away. So, last look as we go out here on the last little piece. Take a look. Here they are. Uh-huh. Look at that. Might just sell the hummingbird collection. I'm going to doctor these up. Look at that guy right there. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. And look at this guy. Boom. All just dropping paint. I'm going to come back and add a little green to this body right here. This is on 300 pounds, so it really does respond. Remember, watercolor's not over until it leaves your house. And then I've also carried my brushes to some friends' houses and doctored up one or two there. Haven't taken anything out of the frame yet, but I will. All right, blessings to you all. And think like an artist, be creative. I am out of here. See you later. I need something to finish on. Here it is right here. My little theme song. Well, it's not a whole song, but I wrote this part.